So good, so good, so good.
It's time to save. Clear the Rack is on at your Nordstrom Rack store. Now through Monday, take an extra 25% off clearance. Hurry, the best stuff goes fast. All sales final. Please see NordstromRack.com or ask a store associate for details.
We
are
Cultivate.
Cultivate.
We are Cultivate.
Hello and welcome to Ye Olde Crime, where we discuss the funny, strange, and obscure crimes of yesteryear. I'm your host, Lindsay Valenti, and with me is my sister and co-host, Maddie Savage.
Hello.
Hello. It's been a day.
It's been a day. The last week of our birthday month.
Yep.
Really going out with a bang, you know?
Yep. Kind of literally. A little bit.
Bit of a boom.
And I didn't really think about it, but I guess today's topic is a great way to kind of close out the month, because we're going to be talking about Eclipse Monsters.
Yay! I forgot I picked this one. I know I say that every time, but this one I'm really excited about. Great job. Past me. You did it. Good choice.
We did it. Information was pulled from the following sources: a 2025 AZ Animals article by Patrick McFarland, 2024 Atlas Obscura article by Robert Lamb, 2023 Historic Mysteries article by Lauren Dillon, 2021 The Gorka Times Post, 2020 Medium article by Brandon, 2020 Mythology Source article by Mike Greenberg, PhD, Ancient Egypt Online article, Britannica article by Melissa Petruzzello, Britannica, Captivating History article, and 5 Wikipedia links.
Nice.
And thank you to Carrie Ann for her research assistance on this episode, and links to all of these articles will be included in the show notes. We wouldn't be here without support from listeners like you. If you're interested in supporting us financially, you can leave a one-time or monthly donation over on Buy Me a Coffee or our Venmo page. Links are in the show notes. And we make a point of reaching out to send you a thank you note and stickers to show our appreciation.
Want to show your support in a more concrete way? Pick up some Ye Olde Crime merch over at our TeePublic shop. We shout out whenever there is a sale each month, and we work to make sure we're creating new designs and changing it up whenever possible. And hey, thanks for listening.
Imagine standing under a bright midday sun, when suddenly, without warning, darkness sweeps over the land. From Egyptian chaos serpents to Norse wolfhounds, today we'll explore how humanity's greatest celestial fears were personified as actual monsters.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you, how else would you perceive the sun, moon, and earth all aligning at the same time? You don't know we're on a spinning ball.
Floating through space, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
And before we dive into the variety of monsters themselves, we should set some context, because that is helpful. So eclipses aren't an everyday occurrence, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, solar and lunar eclipses happen at least twice each year, but there can also be up to 5 of each.
That makes sense, because there do seem to be some years where it's like, oh, another eclipse, really?
Yeah.
Because they don't always happen in every part of the world, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And total solar eclipses, on the other hand, occur once every 18 months to 3 years somewhere on Earth. Typically once every few hundred years in the exact same location. So
wow. So that just the fact that has happened is crazy.
So say an eclipse happens here where I am today. Mm-hmm. An eclipse won't happen in this exact same spot, likely for another 200-300 years, because
That's
of
crazy.
how the rotation of the earth and all the things, for it to line up just right and for the conditions to be ideal for that to happen again.
That's amazing.
And given the unpredictability of eclipses for ancient cultures, they were often seen as omens, albeit not particularly auspicious ones. Usually they were viewed as an omen of death, war, or even a cosmic imbalance.
Yeah, that makes sense. People often fear what they don't know, and that would be really scary to like suddenly expect light and there's nothing but darkness.
And as we delve deeper into each of the monsters we'll be discussing today, keep an eye on the common theme they all share.
That they cause blindness?
Everyone's blind.
Stop looking at the monster.
And now that we have our context, let's talk about some monsters. First, we'll dive into Norse mythology with the legend of Skoll and Hati.
Yay!
Now, our boy Loki, the ultimate trickster god, has a hand in this legend. He sired 3 children with the giantess Angerboda, the world-gobbling serpent of Jormungandr, the queen of the underworld, who is also known as Hel, and a giant wolf that can slay gods. That last one, Fenrir, gave birth / split off to have a pair of wolves whose sole purpose would be to chase the sun, or Sol, and the moon, or Mani, forever. And that is Skoll and Hati.
And they're really cute too. They're like
Yeah.
little baby wolves, and Fenrir's like the big scary one.
Yep. Now, in the case of Skoll, he doesn't get to achieve his ultimate goal of eating the sun until the end of days, or Ragnarok. And it's said that when that day comes, as he sinks his teeth into the sun, the light of the world will be extinguished in his belly. Hati would eat the moon. Now, Skoll and Hati are some of the most mysterious figures in all of Norse mythology, because little is mentioned of them outside of the work Prose Edda by Icelandic historian, politician, and author Snorri Sturluson. The pair are known as the Chasers. Kind of like I said, it's unclear if they are indeed the children of Fenrir or merely an extension of him.
Yeah.
Their endless pursuit of the sun and moon would lead one to believe that they are separate entities. So in the stories, going back to Fenrir's role in Ragnarok is to kill Odin. Therefore, the gods attempted to capture and subdue Fenrir to prevent this epic tragedy from unfolding.
Yep. Just make his life miserable from the start, because that'll definitely make a dog not want to bite anybody.
Yeah. So the gods constructed a chain, and in some tellings it's listed as a rope, that would be strong enough to bind Fenrir, even though by all appearances it should be super easy to break. Like, it looked like a janky-ass rope.
Yes, it looks super basic, and he's really mad about it, and it's like, why can't you just, twitch your neck and shatter it?
So Fenrir, being the child of a trickster, knew a grift when he saw one. So he agreed to have the chain put on him only if one of the gods would put their hand in his mouth. So Tyr, the Norse god of war, volunteered and placed his hand in Fenrir's mouth. And once it became apparent that he had been tricked, Fenrir bit off Tyr's hand. And then he was bound and chained until he would ultimately be able to break free, signaling Ragnarok.
Destroy the world.
Now, the mother of Skoll and Hati is unknown, but it's likely another giantess, given the creation of Fenrir and his siblings. And in some tellings, Skoll and Hati are depicted as brother and sister, while in others they are both male. In the sources that I pulled from, the bulk of them listed them as both being male.
Okay.
Skoll, whose name in Old Norse can be translated to treachery or mockery, is a giant wolf that chases the goddess Sol behind her chariot. In the Edda, it notes Skoll's pursuit, quote, "There are two wolves, and the one pursuing her is called Skoll, or treachery, is the one she fears. He will catch her at the end of the world," end quote. Just like Skoll, Hati is also a wolf that chases the brother of Sol, Mani. Hati's name in Old Norse translates to "he who hates," or enemy.
I really hate that guy.
And just as Skoll chases after the sun during the day, Hati chases the moon at night.
Screw you, moon. Screw you, Nightman.
Ah! When Skoll swallows the sun at the start of Ragnarok, Hati will swallow the moon, which will plunge the world into eternal darkness. And solar eclipses were said to be the start of Ragnarok. So practitioners of Norse culture would make a lot of noise whenever an eclipse was taking place, shouting, beating on drums, and screaming in an effort to scare Skoll and Hati away. They believed that if they made enough noise, they might be able to frighten Skoll into dropping the sun, thus preventing Ragnarok.
That's really kind of cute. Can we
Yeah.
spook the puppy to drop the ball so that we can save the world?
Yeah.
Don't eat that.
Scientifically, it's possible, given the location of Norse beliefs in the Scandinavian countries of Europe and beyond, which are in the northern hemisphere, that Skoll and Hati were inspired by sundogs, which are spots of light on either side of the sun caused by ice crystals in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I've heard of that phenomenon. That's really cool. And that could definitely be true, because in the northern hemisphere too, like when it's really bright in the winter, it's really bright in the winter. Like hardcore.
So that's the Norse mythology.
Okay.
Hindu mythology presents us with the tale of Rahu and Ketu, two Asuras or demons. This legend originates from India, specifically from the Samudra Manthan, the oldest recorded eclipse legend. And in this legend, the Devas, think kind of like benevolent gods, and the Asuras, who are power-hungry beings, they coexisted near a vast milky ocean, which they would work together to churn to gain its promised riches. Over several eons, the ocean finally produced what beings from both sides were waiting for, the Amrit, or the nectar of immortality.
Ooh. Okay, so this is like lots of lore kind of in one beast.
Quote, Asuras stole the Amrit, and Lord Vishnu took the form of a beautiful damsel, Mohini, to please and distract the demons. On receiving the Amrit, Mohini came to the Devas to distribute it to them, end quote.
Impressive.
However, this theft did not escape the cunning and watchful eye of one of the Ashura, a demigod known initially as Svarbahanu. Svarbahanu disguised himself as a woman to enter a procession of the Devas who were lining up to partake of the Amrit. It was the watchful eyes of the sun god Surya and the moon god Chandra that noticed something was amiss. Lord Vishnu was quickly alerted, and she cut off the head of Svarbahanu before the nectar could travel down his throat. So he had gotten to the point where he was able to ingest some of the Amrit. A drop had touched his tongue, and so he achieved partial immortality, transforming into the undying Rahu, the severed head, and Ketu, the body.
Oh, awful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awful. He has to live forever like that now? Gross.
I know.
What like the major cautionary tale. Holy smokes.
Pissed that his plans for immortality were thwarted, and believing it to be because the sun and the moon told on him, Rahu constantly chases both, catching them from time to time and swallowing them, only for them to fall out of his neck stump and continue their treks across the sky.
That's so sad and hilarious.
Fun fact, in India, Indonesia, and Polynesia, the legend of Rahu notes that because the sun is so hot, it burns his tongue, causing him to spit it out, which is why it always returns to the sky after the eclipse is over. So it's not always that it comes out of his neck hole.
Yeah.
It comes out of his mouth.
He might spit. Ugh, that's so funny.
Quote, Rahu and Ketu are considered as two strong planets as per the principles of Vedic astrology, although astronomically they do not exist. Since Rahu and Ketu are believed to have a strong impact on our lives, they are a crucial part of Jyotish Shastra and are denoted as mathematical points while making calculations in Vedic astrology. The general explanation is that sun represents body, whereas moon represents mind. Hence, these incision points strongly affects the energies of these two parts of the bodies. End quote.
Interesting.
Rahu is one of the 9 major celestial bodies in Hindu astrology and is in opposition to Ketu as far as lunar nodes are concerned, with Rahu representing the north and Ketu representing the south. So they're kind of like polar opposites.
Like a body.
Yep. Rahu and Ketu are not only evil demons that seek to destroy the moon and the sun, but they also represent an immense amount of everyday evils and ailments. Rahu, for example, represents the act of indulgence. The negative connotations associated with him include mental illness, theft, loss in the form of finances or loved ones, legal issues, as well as several diseases. These include, in part, leprosy, breathing problems, ulcers, and skin diseases.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Ketu can also cause a variety of diseases, including those affecting the lungs, ears, brain, and intestines. They also symbolize wounds, suffering, false pride, and bad company. Rahu is also mentioned in Buddhist scriptures. In the Kandima Sutta and the Surya Sutta, Rahu attacks the sun and moon deities and only releases them after reciting a stanza that conveys their love and respect for the Buddha.
Okay.
The Buddha then entices Rahu into releasing them, lest he have his, quote, head split into 7 pieces, end quote.
He just kind of like nicely threatens him, it sounds like.
Yeah. He's like, hey,
Don't.
I really don't want to have to cut your head several times.
Yeah, I really don't want to have to punch you once and then have you split into 7 pieces or something.
Kind of kills my vibe.
Yeah.
As the Buddha.
Namaste.
Ancient Egypt is well known for its diverse array of gods and goddesses, as well as the stark contrasts in their beliefs. As a result, solar eclipses gave birth to Epep, or Apophis in the Greek telling, the cosmic world serpent.
Ooh.
Apep is the antithesis of the sun god Ra, who was the ultimate ruler of ancient Egypt for a millennium before he retired as pharaoh to be the guide of the sun. Apep, or Apep, I don't know how to properly pronounce it. I'm going to say Apep, is constantly chasing after Ra, wanting to eat the sun disk that he brings across the sky.
It just looks so tasty.
It's so shiny.
Oh.
One thing that many may not know is that Ra's job took place over 2 very different planes of existence. That of his daytime journey through the heavens, and his nighttime voyage, where it is believed he died physically each night, requiring him to pass through the land of the dead to make his way back east to usher in the dawn.
That stinks. You die every night?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
And it was here in the dark dangers of the underworld that Apep would lie in wait. Apep was always depicted as a giant cobra, and his being embodied chaos in opposition to truth. Some reports stated that he was 16 yards in length and that his
No.
head was made of flint.
Absolutely not. Just a flaming, scary serpent guy. No.
Some stories say that Apep is in fact older than Ra, and others note his creation as being born from the umbilical cord of Ra.
Oh. He would be older then.
Yeah. This would make him the literal Nightman to Ra's Dayman.
That's amazing.
So each night, Apep would follow Ra through the underworld, attempting to attack the sky barge that was used to transport Ra through the sky. So it's like this celestial boat, essentially, that he would take through the underworld.
And he's just like,
he's like,
hating it. Can I again?
According to Ancient Egypt Online, quote, according to one myth, Apep would hypnotize the sun god and all of his followers, except Set, who would repel the serpent by piercing his side with a great spear. In some texts, Apep would trap the boat of Ra in his massive coils, referred to as sandbanks, or cause the waters of the underworld to flood to overwhelm him. In other texts, Apep was equated with Set, who was, after all, a god of chaos, and an army of major and minor gods and goddesses, including Isis, Neith, Selkmet, Geb, Aker, and the followers of Horus and other unnamed gods in the form of monkeys, would defend him. The dead themselves, sometimes in the form of the god Shu, could also fight Apep to help maintain Ma'at, or order. Apep would swallow the sun god, but they would cut a hole in the belly of the snake to allow the sun god to escape. If they failed, the world would be plunged into darkness. End quote.
What a terrible, everyday occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
What a horrible existence.
Every so often, Apep can snatch the sun disk from Ra, ushering in an eclipse. However, Ra and his followers are always able to board Ra's sky barge, pursuing Apep until they're able to free the sun disk from his scaly grip. To aid in Ra's struggle against Apep, Egyptians would perform rituals and recite prayers to help defeat him, thus bringing back the light. Yearly rituals were also performed, and as I mentioned a few minutes ago, some sources said that other deities would aid Ra in his trials against Apep, such as Set. In some rare tellings, Ra would transform himself into a cat, the natural enemy of the snake, to cut the sun, or sometimes even himself, out of the snake's belly.
I love that. That was his familiar.
Yeah. The priests of Ra would regularly conduct a ritual known as banishing Apep, in which an effigy of Apep was taken to the temple, where it would then be beaten, smeared with mud, crushed, and then burned. Some rituals would involve an effigy made of wax that would be dismembered, and a papyrus bearing its likeness would then be burned.
Nice.
Ancient Mesopotamia had its own version of the god of death in the form of the plague god Era. The Seb-Itu were a band of 7 demon warriors who would follow Era. These children of the sky god An would bring sickness and death, and occasionally their appearance as they gathered would hide the moon from view. An epic describes the Seb-Itu saying of the 7 warriors that their, quote, breath of life is death, end quote, and that the death god Era releases them on earth, quote, when the clamor of human habitations becomes noisome, end quote.
Ugh. We just get to be too sassy. They have to come down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They are always described as being masculine in nature and related in some fashion either as whole or half brothers. So in some way, the 7 are related to one another.
Of course. And we all hang out.
We're the best of friends.
And we're all best friends.
Fun fact, the story of Era and Isam was written all the way back in the 8th century BCE in the East Semitic language of Akkadian. The Seb-Itu also appear in Neo-Sumerian, Babylonian, and Assyrian traditions. The Seb-Itu's hiding of the moon also served another more regal purpose. Assyrians viewed eclipses as evil omens, and lunar eclipses in particular were considered a sign that the heavens condemned the current monarch. In response, a Sarpuhi, or substitute king, would be punished in an act of penance of the true monarch. So they're like, hey, this fake king right here, we're going to beat the shit out of him.
Yep. Just for fun.
Because, we're bad, but this will fix it.
Yep.
Sorry, Carl.
Sometimes we throw the stuff at Kevin.
In the Neo-Assyrian Empire, the Seb-Itu were often summoned to assist kings as they went to battle to help, quote, smite their enemies, end quote.
Yeah. Smiting is very important in terms of war.
Mm-hmm. Last but certainly not least is the Peri from ancient Persian mythology. In the 6th century BCE, the Peri were merely small, winged people, similar to what we would term as fairies today. They were commonly found in the folklore of India, northern Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Central Asia, and Turkey. The Peri were described as winged creatures of exceptional beauty, but they had a mercurial nature. In fact, they were often feared due to the belief that they would abduct people and take them back to their home of Paristan, or punish them.
Just like Fae and fairies.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
The Peri could be generous or downright destructive. Consider them the fairy version of the yin and yang, if you will. So examples of this are if they favor you, they may ensure that your crops prosper in times of drought. But if you cross them, they may ruin your harvest, or worse, turn the sun to darkness.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah, as
just
one
fuck
does.
That guy in particular.
The Peri would continue to live in this black and white, good and evil existence for millennia, until the people of Islam rewrote their story, converting the Peri into a form of fallen angels looking to repent.
That's when they decided, maybe we're being a little too mean.
Yeah, maybe they're not so bad. Later stories would share that they were able to repent and gain entrance once more into the Promised Land, with the tales of their perseverance captured in the epic poem Shahnameh, I think I said that right, Shahnameh, in which the Peri are loyal servants to the kings of Earth.
Okay.
In Turkish tellings, the Peri wear green garments and can appear in the shape of a dove. They serve a fairy king who could have started as a human before his abduction from the human world. In some tellings, Peri occupy the spiritual realm until they fall in love, at which point they will leave their home to live with their mortal lover. Some Peri would be worshipped by shamans in rituals to heal women to prevent miscarriage, although some would be sought out for love spells. If we examine the common theme of these myths, a few key points emerge. The sun and the moon are victims, constantly under attack by outside forces that seek to kill or kidnap them. In retaliation, humans fear these cosmic attacks, doing what they can as bystanders to prevent what many of them would view as the end of the world. And of course, today, we can track and predict when lunar and solar eclipses will occur, and we understand that giant snakes, hungry wolves, or disembodied heads are not a threat to them.
I mean, for now.
Maybe there is a giant head that likes to eat the sun. Who knows? It is interesting to think that even today, wolves, snakes, and demons continue to endure as symbols of evil, bad omens, and chaos.
Mm-hmm.
To put it another way, these quote-unquote monsters were humanity's way of making sense of the unknown, assigning a creature or deity as the cause of the things outside of their control.
We love doing that.
Additionally, these are just a handful of the many eclipse monsters that exist. China, the indigenous people of North America, the many tribes in Africa, and countries like Australia and New Zealand all have their own monsters as well. I couldn't fit everything into this episode, but I wanted to highlight just a few. And if you'd like me to cover more in a future episode, please reach out to us on social media and let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And those are a handful of eclipse monsters.
I like them. India's was way too, like, bitter and, like, real.
Yeah.
I have never heard such instant karma from like, the immortality telling. Like, I really have never heard of a story quite so instantaneous. You fucked up.
I love how it's like they're wolves, or it's a snake, or it's these like fairy people that can be kind of mischievous and then they'll like take the sun away for a while.
But don't worry, they'll give it back because they're not that bad.
Yeah, because they're just fallen angels or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you got like this disembodied head.
And then you got this guy in India who's just super bitter, trying to eat the sun like he owes him money.
And I say,
so weird.
Fuck you guys.
He's like, still the sun. Good luck.
And I love how it's like, even though they are the ones that didn't cut off his head, Lord Vishnu is the one that cut off his head. He's more pissed at the sun and the moon because he was like, you guys told on me. It's your fault.
You would have never tried severing my head had you guys not said anything. Idiots.
God. So yeah, I think that one's my favorite just because it's so random.
It's true.
If you love the show, the best way to support us is to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Good Pods, CastBox, Podcast Addict, and or Audible. Links to all of these are in our show notes, or if you're already listening on one of these platforms, you know what to do.
Oh, and while you're at it, shoot us a question you'd like to hear us answer on the pod. We'll give you a special shout out and address your burning questions all at the same time. The weirder, the better. Submit them via link in our show notes or shoot them to us in our DMs.
And this week we have a listener question from Carrie Ann.
Okay.
And she would like to know, would you rather always have to hop like a bunny or waddle like a penguin?
Waddle like a penguin.
I feel like after a while, if I was hopping like a bunny all the time, it would really wear on my knees.
I know, I was immediately worried about my knees.
That's how you can tell you're getting old.
Yes, it's less about looking like an idiot. And I was like, well, maybe I could like train my feet to always be pointed forward at least when I waddle.
Yeah.
Like a penguin.
Or like pointed out so you're not getting like pigeon-toed
like
from doing it.
You don't become bow-legged in a weird way.
Yeah. When I copied down that question, I was like, God, that would hurt your knees after a while. Hopping like a bunny everywhere.
It would. It really would.
I was like, if my knees pop already when I'm getting up off the floor, or like sometimes when I'm getting out of a chair, they'll pop. I can't imagine if I had to hop everywhere.
I know.
I'd have to wear a knee brace.
No. I'll be able to get around.
If you have questions that you'd like to ask us, please either shoot us a message on social or you can email us at yieldcrimepodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, and there's a couple of ways you can reach out to us. You can email us at yeoldecrimepodcast@gmail.com, where you can send us story ideas, share any spooky stories you may have, fun gifts, or even just to say hello.
You can also reach out to us via snail mail. Remember mail? Our mailing address is Ye Olde Crime Podcast, P.O. Box 341, Wyoming, Minnesota 55092. Fun fact, we like to send out thank you cards with fun stickers you can't get at our shop, so it's worth the cost of a stamp.
On that note, what's something good you'd like to share?
I went to the Minnesota State Fair for the first time in like a decade.
I still have never been.
It's good. I recommend going and spending all of your money on rides because I had the best time on rides. I didn't get any of like the crazy food personally. I just wasn't really seeking it out. But our daughter is now old enough to be able to go to the Midway and not the Kidway.
Oh, nice.
So that was a big deal. And she hasn't had anybody willing to go on all of the rides with her like I was. So it was like an extra special day where we got to spend a bunch of money on rides and stuff.
Nice.
So it was fun. There was this one. Oh my God, Lindsay, you'd love it. It was like a slightly larger version of like the octopus.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like tilt-a-whirl type seating, kind of, where you could have 4 people.
Oh, okay.
But it was like the octopus where it like spun in the air.
And then goes like up and down.
Yeah, and it goes up and down in a wave. And like if you spun just right, you just continuously spin. And there was one time where we did, and we just kept spinning like crazy. And I swear he did it because he could hear our laughter every time because it would like go right by the booth where they were controlling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on that ride twice. That was really fun.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point where I can only handle so many spinny rides before I just get like irpy. Like it messes with like my equilibrium or something. And I don't get vertigo, but I get just like, I'm just like, oh my God, I am gonna get sick.
Yep. Yeah, I had almost hit that point. And then our last ride was like the haunted house, which was like a quote unquote roller coaster, but it's not. You just like, it's really awful. It was a very good palate cleanser to end the rides. I got just a little bit sunburnt, but yeah, it was a really nice day. Had a great time.
You picked a good day to go.
Yeah, so we did. Well, and we were there just long enough for the 2 of us. Like Mike's back tweaked like right when we were on our way out a bit. And so he struggled a bit today, and I struggled a bit today with my blood sugars, which was really surprising. I've been low 8 times today.
Damn.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to have like scrambled egg brains. It's going to be so fun at work. I'm like, who am I? But I think I finally hit my plateau with the lows. Hopefully I won't have to worry about it. But yeah, I don't know what it was because I didn't eat anything super crazy. But something about the rides, man. Can't handle the adrenaline anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
How about you? What's something good?
So my youngest has enrolled in her first like organized sport. She's doing softball, and this is the first of our kids who's actively been in sports. Like they've both done, I don't think my youngest did soccer, but they both did basketball for like a short period of time. And my oldest did soccer. She like tried it out and she wasn't like interested in anything, which is fine.
Yeah.
But Sunday was my youngest first 2 games, and they were back to back on the same field, so we didn't have to like move to a different
Nice.
location.
It's always kind of sad when that does end up happening, and you're like, wait, where do we go? We've got 2 seconds.
Well, and they had like a half-hour break in between to like, eat something quick and then get back on the field.
It's a long day for the kids.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Our parents came out to watch her and cheer her on, so that was nice to spend time with them and watch her play. The first game, they got slaughtered. It was like 10-5. But they've also only had 2 practices prior to this, so they did really well considering. And then the second game, they were much closer, so it was like 5-4.
Nice. That's really good in one game.
So they lost both, but like you could see them improving as they went.
They're getting it, yeah.
Yeah, which was fun to see. So my good thing is I'm just kind of proud of her for choosing that's something she wants to do, and she seems to like it. So we'll see if she wants to stick with it after the fall season is done. So
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. All right, shall we? Want to be social with us? You can see pics from this week's episode, bonus content, and funny memes on X at Ye Olde Crime Pod, or on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube at Ye Olde Crime Podcast.
Speaking of YouTube, we have a special playlist just for our Can You Crack the Cramp Word segments with our guest podcasters to see who can correctly guess the meaning of some obscure Victorian slang terms. If that's your thing, check it out.
And on that note, as always, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Madison.
And we'll see you next time with another tale
As Olde's Crime.